as I'm making this video on January 22nd, 2021, we are in the unfortunate truth that Joe Biden is now leading the United States. I'm not going to call him the president. After everything that's happened in the last 2 months, from November 3rd already to this point, I cannot call him the president. There's still unanswered questions about the electoral fraud with the Dominion machines, with China interfering in our election, and of course Italy. I'm not forgetting about Italy and a few other countries as well. The issue with the Georgia Senate special election, and the situation that happened on January 6th with the breaching of the Capitol building. But it does make me feel good to see that. It does make me feel good when I see the White House official page getting so heavily downvoted by a lot of people. Now, of course, YouTube is trying to do damage control by eliminating the dislikes, calling it spam, but I'm pretty sure that's not spam. It's obvious that YouTube is trying to cover for Joe Biden. But continuing on, he already just 2 days into Joe Biden's illegitimate presidency. Already America is just feeling the pain already, just from his executive orders. Here's an article from the New York Times detailing a lot of these executive orders, because right here on the pandemic, here's the big one is basically the issuing of wearing mask, a mandate on wearing mask on federal property. The problem is, and I'm pretty sure everyone already knows this, within the last 24 to 48 hours, Joe Biden was actually caught in the Lincoln Memorial not wearing a mask. Of course, the press secretary just tried to excuse this by saying that he's celebrating and that he's trying to lead by example. That's kind of funny how much Joe Biden has been criticizing Trump with his handling of the COVID crisis, yet will not even going to follow his own rules. Rules for thee, but not for me. Put that as the motto of the Democratic Party. Ugh, already, it's just makes me cringe. Oh, and here's another one right here. Mr. Biden is also reinstating ties to the World Health Organization, with Dr. Anthony Fauci to be the head of the U.S. delegation of the organization's executive board. We're really going to establish ties to the WHO. Look, I'm not surprised that Joe Biden is doing this. I really am not. But the fact that we've given so much money to the WHO, to the United Nations, and even then, they managed to screw up the COVID crisis. Case in point, when trying to look at the situation of COVID-19, they went so far as to use Chinese authorities as a source, saying that it's false that there would be human-to-human transmission of the virus. That didn't age well. But here's continuing on. And immigration. And with an executive order, Mr. Biden has bolstered the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, also known as DACA, which protects deportation of illegal immigrants. I don't care what YouTube says, they're illegal immigrants. And it's calling on Congress to provide legislation. Another executive order revokes Trump's administration plan to exclude non-citizens from the census clout. That's not going to hurt America at all. Especially since there's over 11 million, potentially more, illegal aliens already residing in the United States. Probably most of them are in California for some obvious reasons. Continuing on, another blow. Mr. Biden is also ending the so-called Muslim ban. For the last time, it's not a Muslim ban. If it were a Muslim ban, it would ban all the entire Arab world or anyone who happened to be a Muslim. I don't see a ban happening in Indonesia, in India, or even Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia doesn't even have a ban. There are countries. The countries that have a ban are Somalia, which is still in the civil war since the 1990s. Syria. No, I don't need to go further than that. Iran. Do I even need to state out the obvious with Iran? But no, apparently they can fly into the United States for all Biden cares. Now on to climate change. We are re-entering the Paris Climate Accords. We're basically going to have to deal with these regulations and stuff, while India and China are going to get away with a lot of these regulations, even though pretty much they're the ones who are contributing all the CO2 emissions as a result from heavy amounts of industry. Just saying, we're the ones who are paying the price, not them. Oh, I need to also mention, in terms of immigration, Joe Biden has also decided to stop funding for the border wall. As far as I know, he's not going to take it down, but that may potentially change. God, if that's the case, then if he does do that, I'm pretty sure there's going to be an outcry the likes of which he hasn't seen yet. Even though that he's already dealing with a divided nation, a very, very divided nation. Oh, and and also that in itself also caused thousands of people to lose their jobs and working the border wall, which brings me back to climate change. The Keystone Pipeline. He revoked the permit for that. Yeah. In total, over 52,000 people lost their jobs in one day. Bravo, Joe Biden. Bravo. Bravo. Oh, beautiful. We are starting a good path towards recovery for this nation. Fuck. On racial and LGBT equality, to be honest, I don't know why this executive order is in there, because it has nothing to do with it. Mr. Biden will end the Trump administration's 1776 commission, which released a report on Monday that historians said distorted the role of slavery in the United States, among others, under history. Yeah, and this... yeah, right. Because apparently the 1619 Project is better. Jesus. How is it that the 1619 Project is supposedly academically worthy, even though a lot of other historians actually say that it's basically BS? You want pseudo history? Don't look at the 1776 Commission. Look at the 1619 Project. By the way, if you guys want to, I will be putting the PDF of the 1776 Commission report down in the description below. So if you guys want to take a look at it yourselves, I highly suggest you do it. It's about 45 pages. Now, he also designated Susan E. Rice, who is the head of his Domestic Policy Council, as the leader of a robust interagency effort requiring all federal agencies to make rooting out systemic racism central to our work. Basically, teaching of critical race theory and stuff. Jesus. On the economy, Mr. Biden is moving forward for federal moratorium on evictions in his agencies, including the Agricultural, Veterans Affairs, Housing, and Urban Development Departments, to prolong the moratorium on foreclosures on federally guaranteed mortgages that was enacted in response to the coronavirus pandemic. He is also moving to continue a pause of federal student loan interest and principal payments through the end of September, although progressive groups and some congressional Democrats have pushed Mr. Biden to go much further and cancel up to $50,000 in student debt per person. Government... I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm just sorry. Because when I saw near the end of this article, it says, on government accountability. Yeah, that's the thing that we've been lacking for for many months. Why do you think a lot of people are questioning the results of the election, are just hating Joe Biden right now? But I need to continue on. Following in the footsteps of some of his predecessors, Mr. Biden established ethics rules for those who serve in this administration that aim to restore and maintain trust in the government. Too late. He has ordered all of his appointees to sign an executive branch to sign an ethics pledge. If to further add to that with the ethics pledge, he actually made a speech about this where he says, if you treat someone with disrespect, I will fire you on the spot. No ifs, ands, or buts. And in typical Sleepy Joe fashion. Jeez. Already this is just from an article from 2 days ago. And already Biden is failing. 52,000 jobs lost. Little to no control over our southern border. Undoing a lot of the policies that Trump created. Allowing travel in places where there's obvious terrorist and militant activity. Again, just to show you, Syria, Iraq, Iran, and Somalia, just to name a few. And there's just so much more. Just recently, I saw the article where the National Guardsmen, as a result of just after the inaugural address, which I myself did not see. I was just protesting it, the whole thing. I will never accept Joe Biden as my president. Anyway, the officials just decided to kick these National Guardsmen out and made them sleep in the parking lot where it's 40 degrees Fahrenheit. There's only one electrical outlet, and there's only one bathroom for 5,000 soldiers. This is already people hate Joe Biden. He's already probably the worst president already in the 21st century. And I'm definitely going to stick to that, because even with not Joe Biden, Barack Obama's screw-ups, he did not screw up this bad compared to Joe Biden, especially within a matter of 48 hours. I will give Obama that. But apparently Joe Biden has screwed up so much. Now, thankfully, as far as I know, there's been some new developments where the National Guardsmen are now finally getting some better accommodations, but already the damage has been done, because the governors of New Hampshire, Florida, and Texas are now recalling their National Guardsmen troops. And in all honesty, I can't blame them with that. Already, morale has hit an all-time low. And a lot of people, again, like I said before, people do not like Joe Biden. There's little to no trust in his regime. There's little to no trust at all. Already we're seeing the destruction of President Trump's policies, again, both good and bad. The fact that he had to have 25,000 to 30,000 National Guardsmen to protect him and the Congress for a virtual inauguration for at least I believe it's now about 2 weeks. And yeah, he's already pissing off a lot of people. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if there's already reports of Joe Biden deciding to go back to the days of the Obama administration, where he says Obama tried to establish peace alongside with Palestinians, or at least first a Palestinian peace, then an Arab peace. Even though Donald Trump managed to actually use a new formula in order to actually get some good results. And what were those results? Peace between Israel and the UAE, Bahrain, Morocco, Sudan, and so much more. And I honestly do not think that Joe Biden will serve out his term, because right now he's definitely afraid and paranoid. I mean, he wanted the FBI to vet the National Guardsmen during the inauguration, and I know I'm going all over the place, but the fact is that considering all this crazy nonsense, we're supposed to have to question whether or not he's the president. I'm being legit. I'm being legitimately serious about this. Already, he's pissing off a lot of people. Already, he's questioning the loyalty of our military. Already, he's treating our military like garbage. And now, we're losing jobs. And apparently we're now going to have to become more reliant on foreign countries. I would not be surprised with that. And he's already planning on pissing off our allies if he does go to the route of the Obama administration. It's gonna be cringe. This entire regime is just gonna be total cringe. I will not consider him my president whatsoever. He was not legitimately elected. You lefties might consider him legitimately elected, but the fact is there's these irregularities, the voter fraud, those issues that have not been answered yet. There's so many big questions, and yet you decide to just censor everyone who speaks out online. I know that the mainstream media also says that Joe Biden is supposedly the most popular president with a 60% approval rating. Yeah, I'm willing to bet that they cooked those up. The point is, I don't think that Joe Biden's regime, or even Kamala Harris's regime, once Joe Biden dies, because I honestly do not expect him to fill his first term. I literally have no confidence in them leading this nation. In fact, I expect them to screw over America. The question is, how hard are they going to screw America? I think what happened in the last 48 hours is a pretty good determination of where our nation is going. I have some hope, though, with President Trump still being in the news and the possibility of him making his own party, the Patriot Party. If that's the case, I'm willing to switch my registration from a Republican to Patriot. I hope that happens. But right now, with Biden supposedly leading the United States, it's going to be pretty downhill from here. My name is Noah Meehan on The Arc Truth. Please post your comments down below, like this video, subscribe, and share with your friends. Also, if you have any issues regarding my videos, such as how I speak or how I frame my videos or anything of that particular, please post them down in the comment section down below or directly message me. Thank you.
Almost head.